we're going to volunteer to go back to slavery.
Wow.
We're going to volunteer. Maybe we just need a job.
You making me feel like I got so much more work and I'm about to cry everything, get to work. This is beautiful. I'm like so upset now. I'm so upset. All right, y'all. So I am so pumped up, you guys. I have what you guys may consider the most infamous person on the internet right now. I think he's the most famous person on the internet that's rattling you guys' feathers and holding you guys accountable to your nonsense. Some of you call him the Dick Gregory of our time. Some of you call him the Martin Luther King or the Malcolm X, whatever you consider him to be. Guys, help me welcome Charleston White on the show. Hey, Charleston,
Oh,
how are you?
hey, I'm doing well, Mama. How you doing?
I'm doing
Yeah,
good. Look,
yeah. God
so
damn.
pumped up. I'm like so pumped up to have you here because you are like a trouble starter, but you're not starting trouble. You really talking some truth. And people that cannot get past the boisterousness, the loud, the talk, the person, what you consider your personality, don't really get to who Charleston White is. So if you don't know, I'm going to ask you quite a bit of questions about Black people, finance, and all of that stuff. And I'm just curious to see what your input is going to be. So, look, we're going to rock it out from there. So, my first question to you is, right now it's so many Black on Black killings. It's so many police officers killing our Black men. Do you believe if more Black men had life insurance, that will prevent them, or the life insurance companies will step in and prevent the cops from killing us, or also put in more police protocols for our Black communities to prevent the killings?
Uh, I think before, but you have to go in that. Uh, you would have to go after the license. There's two licenses that they have. One of them is the right for a gun.
Okay, there you go.
If
Okay.
you sue the CCPD funding instead of they will stop immediately, because ultimately the taxpayers is what who end up paying the lawsuits, right? So even if the insurance companies did go after them, typically they probably would sue the city because they work for the city. Whereas they should sue the police unions, those CCPD fundings and those budgets that actually fund the police department.
So because it broke up a little bit, it looked like you came out. So you were saying earlier that if they went into what again? Sorry about that.
Uh, the police department have a fund, and it's called CCPD. CCPD. If you look on most of backup police cars, you will see CCPD funded. When you
Mm.
hear organizations saying we want to defund the police, they're not saying that they want to get rid of police. They're saying we want to take their funding, which is their CCPD funding. The CCPD funding covers a lot of array of things in police departments, from the cars, the computers, the guns, the weaponry, SWAT material. So if you sued that funding budget, for example, California, Los Angeles Police Department, they have right at $1 billion.
Mm.
So think about this. Your local police department have $1 billion budget. That funds billions of dollars fund militaries, right? So that means they really are military by way of funding. A quarter of that funding, if not half, is supposed to be allocated to public safety, right? Public safety is a big umbrella. Up under the umbrella of public safety, you have crime prevention, crime intervention, neighborhood watch program, boys and girls club gang intervention programs, after school programs. Then you got some of that money is for your parks and recreations. Some of that money is for your nonprofit organization that works in the community and does community partnership. If we went after that money, on top of that, let the insurance go after their retirement funds by way of the city, not the taxpayer money. They retirement funds. That'll stop a whole lot of them motherfuckers learn how to fight, and they'll go back to kicking ass. So they used to kick ass. The police used to kick your motherfucking ass. What happened to them days? So now. So we have to be strategic in what we go after when we talking about police shootings, because for the most part, police shooting is our perception. How the world perceives black people. For the most part, we come fresh, violent, confrontational. No, man. And we bad. You know, we bad. You hardly ever see meek black men, humble black men, walking with humility. The smart, intellectual black man that knows I can't hold court. Police. I problem with the police. The best for me is to have him take me to jail as quickly as possible. If you got a problem with the police, the best way to resolve right there is to have him take me to jail as quick as possible, so I can get up the court. So you stop talking now, man. It used to be, man, take me to jail.
Yeah.
Take me to jail. Take me to jail. Now it's back and forward. I know my right. It's now, go to jail. You got all your rights in jail. You hardly have any rights on that road arguing.
It's breaking up really bad every time.
See if you can send it to my email. Cause I got my email open, waiting for the stream using my phone.
Yeah, I can do that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so what's your email?
Texas nigga NEG at gmail.com.
NE
or NEGU. Yeah, looks like Ethiopian nigga.
Okay. EGU, okay. I think it kicked out.
You got it?
No, Texas NEGU
at gmail.com.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, I can even hear you better and everything. I can already hear the background. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, I kept saying, man, y'all send it to me email. Y'all send it to me email.
And I'm about to tell my team, like, she normally be on point with stuff. I'm gonna tell her she's slacking a little bit this time. But no, I appreciate you kind of pushing it back for me today too. I had a family emergency this morning. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm way more understanding than what the character per se. So yeah.
Oh, I already know. I can see through you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's rock it out. So I'm gonna just go to the next question then, okay? Okay, so Charleston, I've been watching you for a while now, and you have a sincere, like, I don't want to say the word hate, but you hate gangbangers and rappers.
I hate gang.
I know you do. You have your shirt like, I hate gangbangers everywhere. So funny. I wonder, do you have that same hate for scammers?
Yeah.
And why is that? Why? Because scammers, they're not doing no harm.
Well, let me just say this. I don't. I have to be honest. I don't. And I've been scammed before. I've been a scammer, but not in today's sense of scamming. I used to fuck with counterfeit money. And so I was good at counterfeit money. So yeah, I could go anywhere. If I was to get broke today, I could counterfeit money. Uh, but to be honest, nah, I don't. And that's kind of I wouldn't say hypocritical. Because uh, scammers aren't out recruiting. Scammers don't bully, right? So the whole component of it, scammers aren't killing. Uh, Scammers aren't just scamming black people. Most of the scammers I know, they buy their numbers from overseas. Uh, Most black people I know, if a scammer get their information, they not gonna get much. So, nah, I got a little compassion for a thief.
Oh, that's good. And so that kind of make you real relatable though, because most people probably think you hate scammers, you hate gangbangers, you just hate it across the board. Because you always feel like I'm an upstanding citizen. The only thing I do is drive without a seatbelt. You always say, "I'm driving without a seatbelt."
No. I try not. I try not to do wrong to people. Man, we gonna do wrong in life. But my intentions is not to wake up and cause harm and do wrong to people. I'm not gonna tell a lie to sell you something. I'm not gonna tell a lie to borrow money from you. Uh, if you drop some money in a store and I see it, I'm gonna pick it up and run you down and say, "Hey, you dropped something." I try to live with the concepts of don't lie, steal, and cheat. So that kind of what governs me. Uh, but I'm not hungry. I don't go to bed hungry, so I don't have a reason to steal. Some people I think have a reason to steal. Scamming, I don't think nobody have a reason to scam. I don't think there's no justification uh, to uh,
I love
yeah
it. I love
to
they
take
said don't lie, steal, and cheat. And
or
so
cheat. Yeah.
yeah, I like that because right now, if you doing scamming, then you actually only really hurting yourself for real. Like you're not really hurting no one else. But the gangbangers, they out there killing people, family dying, and I know you an advocate for that. But we have a lot of content.
Let me just say this about the scammers. Uh, my mother used to always tell me this when I come to her complaining about something that didn't happen to me. Uh, Mama, somebody broke into my house. And my mother gonna remind me, well, shoot, son. You remember y'all used to break into people's houses? Uh, One time my homegirl mom was riding to church and she stopped and gave somebody that she know in the neighborhood who everybody know a ride. You know, one of them questionable characters. When she got to the stoplight, he grabbed her purse and jumped out and ran with her tithe and offering money in it for the month. But her daughter done scammed and hooked and crooked too. Uh, you reap what you sow. Some
Yep.
people call it karma. I believe you reap what you sow. So whatever you done in this world to cause, it can be a company, it can be a business. Because even when you scam a store, whoever's on duty that day, they go through some shit. You know what I'm saying? They get blamed for not. Well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? So it's a domino effect. Uh, and for the most part, most people just scamming for material possessions. They're not scamming to get out of poverty.
That's rolling right into my next question. That is just so perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, see, guys. First of all, yeah. Don't even be scamming, but you don't be scamming for Gucci bags. I hate that.
Yeah.
So right now, we're kind of coming out of the pandemic a little bit, and there's so much going on. You see the scamming for the PPP.
Yeah.
You hear about now the credit card, credit repair scams.
Well, that's been going on for the credit repair scam. Been going on for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know nobody who done got their credit repaired and really benefit from it.
So
all these people with the credit restoration pay me $350 to get in and give me $89 each month. I don't know nobody that has worked for. Yeah, so now, man, uh, if 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 collectively we're talking about something, then 9 times out of 10 it's burn up, it's burn out,
Mm.
and it's no longer relevant.
Hot. Block is hot.
If collectively all across America we all talking about this, we talking about that, it's burn out, it's burn up, and it's almost irrelevant. Same like with the PPP loans.
Mm-hmm.
About time poor, but I'm not gonna say poor people. By the time the lower socioeconomic status of people, right? By the time they start figuring out, well, man, we can get $10,000 if we just fill out this. All the major corporations has already maximized. I remember Ruth Chris, man, they got so much money back in PPP loan and SBA loan, they felt guilty and had to give it back.
I remember that.
Well-to-do people was getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Here come the poor people coming, and I hate to say poor people. I'm gonna say the poor-minded people.
Perfect.
The poor, because poor isn't a permanent state. That's not a permanent state. That's a current situation in a condition. That with certain knowledge, some education, and some direction, you can make it out of. Right? In America. Poverty is not a death sentence in America. So by the time we have access to these PPP loans, most people who could legitimately get it, we had learned so late, the scammers had already took off with it. By the time the folks who really supposed to get this money, who legitimately need it, because most of the scammers, they got their ear to this kind of stuff. Anytime there's tragedy, whether there's a hurricane, tornado, disaster, people come to scam. The insurance company come to scam. So scammers are always at the door of tragedy, right? This is where they win the most. So by the time the real small business guy, the real mom and pop store, the barber, even the stripper, she could have got it. Man, the scammers had already been milking the cow. Yeah, they done told they buddy and told they buddy and told they buddy. So man, the money dried up. So now they realize, okay. They already knew, man, the honor system wasn't gonna work. But it is my sincere belief that my good president, my good motherfucking president, they said, listen, our economy is about to tank because we done shut our motherfucking country down for this pandemic. And we took a major hit financially, economically, socially, educational. Man, we took a major hit. And it wasn't about getting elected. It is my sincere belief, because the powers to be, the people at the top, benefited so greatly from this. Our president made it accessible. Because if nothing else, they get it back in insurance money. If nothing else, let those people, and I truly believe they said let those people have access. Let them have access to it. If they're smart enough to get it, let them get it. There'll be consequences for it. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna fucking generate our economy, because they're gonna go out and buy Chargers, new Jeeps, gold chains, boats, Bentleys, airplanes, Airbnbs, crab shacks, crab legs, pussy online, pussy offline, strip club, sales tax, alcohol tax, the airline industry, tourism, all that shit boomed and flourished with all these niggas having money.
So Charles, it sounds like you about to say today, because most people saying that they set us up. So are you saying?
No. Well, they didn't set us up. It was almost like slavery. It was a necessary evil, because we would have went back into a way worse recession, because so many people lost so much. So many businesses tanked. But let me just remind everybody, they set us up, but he allowed them to set us up, but in a good way. And let me tell you why I say in a good way. Because under this pandemic and under this one president, more black businesses were created and started ever in the history of this country. Yep. More black people went and got LLCs, and more black people had business minds to get to small business money. You couldn't, you see what I'm saying? So we went and created black businesses.
Yeah.
So yeah, they set us up. They set us up like they've been set up. They've been getting money like that forever. So had you went and set yourself up like a real business, you can come back again, motherfucker, and get you some more. And establish yourself as a legitimate business once you come back this time, because you already are business. Come back and ask for some more. But y'all done quit. Y'all don't want to play business no more.
They spent the money on the Gucci and everything. You already said it. They didn't put it where it was supposed to be.
They didn't put nothing back into the business.
Nothing. Like right now, I got people calling my office trying to do amendment returns and stuff, because they didn't file with the business and know they got them PPP loans. And I have to tell my salesperson, like, specifically ask new people, did you get the PPP? And she was like, oh yeah, I had to turn down a few people because they just wanted me to try to clean up their, that they got into.
Well, at this point, if you've done it, don't go through the fire, because most people lost their disability trying to play slick and scamming. Most people lost their Social Security, their food stamp. They lost all their government assistance for $10,000. And they didn't take this money and make this money make money. So now they completely dependent with no government entitled program that'll help them. Some people lost their housing because they attempted to do it, tried to do it, and done it. So most people didn't pay attention. See, had they re-elected Donald Trump, he wouldn't have tripped about the money, because y'all done America a favor by generating and stimulating the economy.
Yep.
This president saying, fuck y'all. I'm getting y'all, we getting our goddamn money back. We've been getting y'all food stamp, welfare. We've been taking care of y'all.
See, Charleston, I had got brutalized online because I had told everybody that was Biden's intentions from the beginning. When he first,
this is what he's saying.
He wanted $40 billion for IRS right off the bat before he was even elected. So when I started putting it out there, they're like, oh, so who you voted for? Trump. Who you did this? Trump. I'm like, it don't matter who I voted for. This was Biden's plan. He already wanted to get that money back from you guys. It didn't really
that's why. See, Biden don't want to give black people nothing.
No
reparations. That's why he didn't want to sit down and talk to Ice Cube.
Yeah, I peeped that.
He don't want to get. If you go back and listen to his track record, he don't want to give us nothing. So what he did was he just recently signed into law, an executive order signed a law extending the time frame. The statute of limitation on motherfuckers who got PPP to 10 years.
Yep.
Man, he's serious.
He opened up the floodgates and then gave them the money that they needed, though, and gave them all the money that they needed. And people bashed me. Oh, IRS not going, because first I was the first person that came out and was like, the moment that they get that money, the IRS is going to audit the middle class and the poor. Everybody bashed me. No, they not. Go ahead.
They got a surplus. So they got taxpayer money from the president who signed this in law. The IRS got out of that $1.3 billion in that jackpot of that lottery, the IRS got $700 million. Initially. Guess what they did? They recouping money. They recouping money. And if you don't think they ain't coming for jail time, restitution, and old back taxes, man, they just secured. See, people don't realize the IRS is a private entity. It's a private institution separate from the government. They need funding. They need money to stay afloat. So that puts them, that keeps them in existence for another 10, 15 years, 20 years. With this law being signed, the funding that they got, no. Man, I know it's a lot of people nervous. Those that know what's really going on.
I'm like me. I've been studying this stuff for years. I was telling everybody, don't do it. I told them exactly what the scam is going to tell them to do. Laid it out. If they tell you start a business, don't do it. If they tell you do this, don't do it. People bash me. Now my team is recycling that content and they bashing me now. And it's so funny because now some of my colleagues and employees are asking their friends, are like, oh, well, I know I might get arrested soon. So would you take care of my kids' situation that's happening right now? Word on the street. Trying to figure out where the kids going to go.
In some places throughout America, it's people getting football numbers, 14, 15 years for it. They getting double-digit numbers for it. See, they're no longer putting the immigrants who come across the border in federal prison. They've over the last 10 years, 12 years, they've been retracting the crack laws with federal sentencing guidelines. So they're emptying out these federal prisons from all these guys who's been in there from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. And these beds will be refilled with PPP and SBA loan violators.
Wow. And I'm kind of nervous. I'm nervous because I know that people went out, because I saw all of the professionals saying, oh, this reparations. Like, did you see that? People like, oh, these are reparations, get this money. So do you think that the people that was boasting that this are reparations, should they be held a little bit accountable for people going out there and getting those PPP loans? No.
Breaking the law, it's not about, well, man, I was influenced to do it. You made a choice to do it. Yeah. If you follow the leader and following the leader is breaking the law, then you making a choice to follow the leader to break the law. And you got to pay for what you do. See, the thing about it is, my partner told me one time, nigga, for them white collar crimes and scamming and shit like that, nigga, I go do 3 years for $500,000. Have that money put up somewhere. I know I'm gonna have the money put up. I know what to do with it. I go do 3 years for come home with $500,000. It's some people feel like it's worth it, no matter what, because they was able to do something. They was able to put, some people go, yeah. But then it's probably 85 to 90% of people who was doing it. And they didn't know what the fuck they was doing. When they got the money, they didn't even know what to do with the money. So think about this. If there was reparations, look what the fuck we done with our reparations.
See, and I said that, Charles. I said it like 3 years ago in my content, that if we not financially literate, when we get that money, we gonna blow it. Don't give it to us right now.
So think about this, mama. These niggas online holler, this is our reparations. If that's our reparations, look how quickly we got broke again.
Broke. God, we on the street, everything gone, everything. And then they didn't water Louis Vuitton so much they can't even resell it on Poshmark, like literally.
So let me just let black people know something. If and when they ever give us reparations, if we do this shit right here, they go immediately put our ass back in slavery. It won't. They go say no. Because what's gonna happen, we gonna have to run back to the plantation and say, I'm hungry. I need somewhere to stay. And then we're gonna start back complaining about slavery that we were never in. Think about that shit, man. If they give us reparations and we repeat the same shit we did during the pandemic, they go into Congress and they go vote us back into slavery. Y'all do know they can vote us back into slavery.
Yeah. Or we'll start committing crimes to go to jail so we can be fed, which is now slavery.
Man, they're gonna close the doors. No, because what's gonna happen? We gonna get cocky and bold again. Go to ride with them. Yeah.
So we gonna get cocky and stuff.
So we might need to rethink this and say, hey, maybe our kids should get the reparation.
Right.
In the form of land and not money.
Thank you.
With the legalization of marijuana, and marijuana being the next new gold rush, the next new gold boom, and we're about to become the largest consumers, how about y'all give us some land, give us some seeds, and we learn how to farm and cultivate and not just nurture marijuana, but learn the hemp product for the biodegradable things that we can build from hemp. CBD for more medicinal uses and medical purposes rather than just the marijuana THC getting high. No, all of us registering at the motherfucking dispensary. Yeah. All of us registering our ID at the dispensary. So now the federal government say, man, y'all can't get y'all guns. Y'all can't get no motherfucking gun license. Because it asks you on the questionnaire specifically about marijuana. So now we need to learn how to grow it. We need to be green thumb. We need to learn the difference between sativa and indica. Man, this is a $1 billion, $1 trillion boom right now. So we don't want no goddamn money. Give us some land, a John Deere tractor, and some seeds. And we'll take it from there.
And you think these youngins gonna do it?
You goddamn right they gonna do it if you show them.
That's true. Then they money hungry now too, so they might do it. They money hungry.
People out there here, let some nigga with some gold chains and some Lamborghinis and some Rolls Royces talking about they growing food over here. Them niggas go to doing what the niggas do.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think right now is the easiest time for all of us to become maybe the 8-figure business? And do you think right now that Black people kind of pissing this opportunity away, like with the trolling, the celebrity obsessions, and just basically that fake life that they're putting out on the gram? Do you think that's what's stopping us? Those 3 things is stopping us from achieving the wealth and success that we can easily now through this internet?
It's been estimated. I've made almost $2 million from being on social media.
Yes.
That's what somebody, man, that's what some motherfuckers that's been looking at some shit that's been counting my money. I said, God damn, man, how these people know this kind of shit? How they know? So when you asked me that question, this what was flashing through my mind. Our kids getting our phones when they're about 2 years old, 3 years old, when they can work the screen and push a video. The videos they push is other children. Sometimes you look at them babies and you be saying, man, this motherfucker watching a kid play with a toy. And I started looking that this kid playing with this toy got 1 million subscribers. and it got 1 million views. That's a smart parent.
Yeah.
That just created some generational wealth from this baby fucking with this phone. So when you're asking that question, are we pissing it away? Yes, ma'am, we are. Is this the most easiest time in history to become a yes, it is. Because you can sell something here in China right now. Yep. You got access at the world. You got access in people's minds. So we're digressing. We're digressing in such a way because we're squandering. We're pissing off this great time. This is the greatest time to ever to be alive for Black people. This is what our ancestors, this is what our grandmothers envisioned right before they died. They couldn't see it when they lived. This is something you see on your way to the grave. When this is something you dream about when you're in despair. This is something you fantasize about when you work until you die. Man, my soul weeping as I'm saying, man, these people.
Me too. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, no, man, they looking down and saying, well, at least they having fun.
We tried.
We worked hard.
And so let me ask you a question, because that kind of hit me, because I really, I use my platform to help us save money on taxes and be able to put that money away so we can build generational wealth and have strong, sustainable businesses in our community. And so with that being said, what do you think we can do? Like, it's a few of us out here screaming and hollering, telling people what they need to do. What do you think we as a community could do right now and then kick people up so they could take advantage of this opportunity we have now?
They raised the credit score on us.
Another thing.
Yeah, I think that a 720 ain't shit no more.
Oh, no.
But our babies don't know nothing about it. A 500, right? So that lack of knowledge. Somehow we have to re-spark the young Black brain to have a thirst for knowledge rather than a thirst for amusement and a thirst for entertainment.
Yes.
Number two, we have to connect with our youth, not our teenagers. Our teenagers are in a natural state of rebellion.
I think you said that. Sorry to interrupt you. You said it maybe 2 ago in some interview, because I told them I watch you a lot.
Yeah.
You guys said something like, next is going to be our tweens killing each other.
Yeah. And
then now it's actually happening. Over the past month, it's been all just.
I seen a 9-year-old kill a 15-year-old or something like. Yeah, I mean, it's almost prophetic, right? So our teens are in a natural state of rebellion, that adolescent, pre-adolescent stage. So once you enter into this stage in life, can't nobody tell you shit if they can't remove you from where you at. Whether that's jail, boys home, mama sending you off somewhere. But mostly, even then, they look for their other peers to listen to. So if you can't go get their favorite rapper, their favorite ball player, how do you get a young person's attention? You find out what they want to do, and you make sure they do it. Yeah, nigga, you want to gang bang and sell dope? Okay, go on and say gang bang and sell dope. You going to jail? That's what you want to do? Okay. We got to find out what they want to do when they teenagers, but we can't spend a lot of time with them. We got to just give them resources and have an alternative. Okay, Yana, they talking about sending this one to juvenile. When the judge look out into the courtroom, when he look out into the Black community, what other alternative do the judge have than to lock this little motherfucker up and send him to juvenile? What alternatives have the Black community created or built for them other than sending them to jail? Nothing? Okay, send his ass to jail. So we can't spend a lot of time with them. Man, all our time have to be invested before they get to adolescent stage, the developmental stages. The developmental stages. Most of the kids we talk to, we supposed to be on our knees, bending down, talking to them. We ain't supposed to be standing up.
Got it.
So that comes with youth financial literacy. Well, how do you intrigue kids' interest in youth financial literacy? What happened to playing Monopoly? What happened to playing Monopoly?
And they got the new one with the credit card machine, the debit
Come
card.
on,
Damn, my kids got that one with the debit card. They got
Come
it.
on, man. Make it fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, so what happened to summer yard cutting? You and your buddies, man, y'all cutting enough yard to save up enough money. What happened to the piggy banks? What happened to weekly allowance? Well, I learned how to save my money because I done something right. I done my chores. I'm learning responsibilities. I'm learning how to work for. What happened to that?
Yeah.
So we changed that with youth financial literacy, youth employment programs, youth engagement program that's centered around economic development, that's centered around business leadership, that's centered around having a think tank where you put a bunch of kids together and they all created a business. What happened to the lemonade stands? Yeah. So now that's something else that ain't the kid.
Do you remember having the banks in the school, in elementary school?
Yeah.
Like industrial bank. We had our little bank account in elementary schools, and the banks would come up, collect our money. We had the little school teller, the school everything. Yeah. They don't have that anymore. There's nothing anymore.
So even though they don't have it, we supposed to have it for us.
That's true.
They are told to standardize tests. So it ain't about developing financial literacy skills. It's not about developing a young child's ideal for economic development. We're brought up to be the American consumer. When you listen to the media, when you listen to economists, they don't reference us as American citizens. We're the American consumers. So they even passed an act, the American Consumer Reporting Credit Act. They passed acts in declaration of war. So it's an act. We're consumers. We ain't people no more. So they're not developing our children to be world leaders. Microsoft, the next Microsoft computer developer. They're going to be consumers, people who work, who consume television, who consume food, consume entertainment. They're going to consume. And so what consumers end up ultimately becoming or dependents and dependable dependents.
The bomb. I tell my daughter, the bomb. I say, if you keep spending, because my daughter, I had used her for example. You know, in her school, they have this little money where you can build up money and save stuff. And she kept spending every week buying that stuff. I'm like, you know what? You are a consumer. Do you know what most people end up being when they become consumers? Bums. I said, because you don't have discipline. You don't have control. You don't have anything. And so from that just makes me think, are we now leading our community to become bums and just consumers? Because eventually we're going to spend so much, we're tapping out of income. We're already spending more than what we make. Okay.
That's why it's a 24-hour cycle news. It's a 24-hour news cycle now. Now it's you can have a skip-free YouTube channel where there's no ads. It's just play music, none. So we're being socially engineered. We're being socially engineered to consume. That's why our phones have everything we need. That's why our phones are like a plate. And this plate got everything we like on it, everything we eat, and we have a bottomless pit stomach and we don't get full. If we don't put this phone down, we just go keep eating and eating and eating and eating and eating, and ultimately we get sick. Uh, it's a struggle and a battle. Because we're engineered. Uh, man, this phone will tell you shit you just talked about by way of a commercial.
Yes, I noticed that.
We're being force fed, and we don't have a cutoff switch for our consumption.
Wow.
I think even in our sleeps, our minds are consumed and it's not resting.
No, because everybody sleep with the TV on now. People ask me when I ask, like, people come to my house, oh, how you sleep? Oh, with the TV on. How do you do that? I have to sleep with the TV on. My aunt, my sister, everybody. And I'm like, well, your brain is never resting. Like, how? Oh, okay. So you're not winding down. I'm going to take them. You know, got your you know. So I got my last two little questions. Okay. And then a little bit about you. Economists are saying that the Black community is going to have a negative net worth by 2053. What do you think? Well, what is your opinion on us having a negative net worth, and what is the cause of it?
The cause of it is consumerism.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Lack of economic development amongst our subcultures, right? The other Black leaders, black businesses, Black politicians. 3, lack of education. Most of our kids can't read, so they know this. There's not a lot of Black real estate moguls. There's no more Black record labels. There ain't no more Motowns, Bad Boys, No Limit Records, Suave House. There ain't no more Black nothing. We don't have a system to manufacture anything. We don't have an import-export trade.
Which we could.
We don't have a bartering system amongst our communities. We don't produce anything. We haven't created nothing solely for Black people. We don't manufacture tennis shoes, but we buy more tennis shoes than anybody. I took a quantitative stats class in college to see how they predict shit, and they're pretty accurate. That bell curve and the normal bell, all that, they pretty accurate. We're gonna volunteer to go back to slavery.
Wow.
We're gonna volunteer. Man, we just need a job. Yeah, we're gonna volunteer.
You making me feel like I got so much more work, and I'm about to cry everything and get to work. This is pitiful. I'm like so upset now. I'm so upset.
Well, you got me looking at this shit. You got me. You asking some questions that really, you asking some.
I know the truth, but I wanted to hear you say this shit. Like, I literally wanted to hear you say it, because I've been saying it. But for the people to hear you say this, it's really troubling to me.
Man, really and the reason why I'm saying this, man, think about this. Man, we sat back during the pandemic. Man, we watched all the niggas with money go spend millions with Johnny Dane. At the start of the pandemic, man, we watched them niggas run to everybody, man.
Yep.
And so the reason we won't have no economic wealth because we putting all our wealth in cash. And cash is becoming obsolete in America. They got these cards. Cash, if we put all our wealth in cash, I wouldn't give a fuck what we got in the bank. We go withdraw it and turn this shit into cash. How we go hold on to that shit for 20 years? It go mold, we go spin it because we can touch it. Our children don't even have the concept of assets. They think cash rule the world. So if our children think this, the adults believe this, they can't read. Man, that's why they robbing each other in California when people sitting out having just dinner.
Yep.
That's why they hitting these trains and snatching the Michael Jordan tennis shoes out the back. That's why they ain't robbing banks. That's why they not doing Wall Street scams. We go be dumber than a nigga slave, and they couldn't read and write, but they had land, properties. They built Black Wall Street, Rosewood, Slocum. Them people was dumb and a motherfucker, ignorant motherfucker, couldn't read and write. But look what they built right after slavery. So right after slavery, man, them people were almost leveled the playing field in economic development. And
it was stolen again or burnt down from the freedmen's banks, and yeah, we keep starting over. And now I don't think we don't have the capacity.
Don't you know they'll let us build another Black Wall Street without burning it down?
Because they know it's not going to get far. Because they know it's not going to get far.
Don't you know that whatever white folks y'all think is after us, they will let us build another Black Wall Street, y'all. They will let us patrol. They'll let us come up with our own police force. They'll let us annex some shit. They want us out of their neighborhoods. They want us out of their schools at this point in history. They tired of us getting a government assistance because they would much rather take what they giving us in government entitlement program and fund their military to keep North Korea off their ass, to keep China off their ass. They got bigger things to worry about than the consumer, nigga. North Korea now is shooting missiles that's down there making it to Canada and California. The Russians is meddling in their election. China is picking Russia over the world. But no, man, these people got bigger things and problems. And their country have been invaded. It's 99 motherfucking tongues in America. And ain't nobody listening to the white man but the black boy. Everybody else bucking him, building their own communities, establishing their own cultures, flying their own nation's flag right here in America. And we still talking about slavery. Something we didn't even have nothing to do with. Don't know what it was like. But we talking about we affected by something we didn't go through. If we was affected by slavery, there's no way we would kill each other today. There's no way our brains could even be wired. There's no way. In the 1910s, the 1920s, the 30s, the 40s, there was no such thing as a black person doing this to black people. How did we get free? How did we get the resources? How did the prayers of the slaves be answered only for us to nigga take on genocide? What button are they pushing for us to do this? What motherfucking button they got on us?
Yeah.
That they didn't have on them, and they was under way more control, under worse conditions.
Psychological. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. God.
So them people weren't interested in reading English. They knew astrology. They knew blueprints. The people knew how to build. They knew math without knowing math.
Was carpenters and didn't even, and we have none now. I was saying this the other day on my live stream. Y'all are sitting there trying to be rappers, basketball players. Y'all need to get a grip. We don't have no landscapers. We have no plumbers. We have no, I said we're forced to pay these Spanish people cash money because we have no other alternatives. And they really don't even want us to even work with them for real, for real. And so it was, oh God.
We used to have men that was just a jack of all trades.
Thank you. The handyman, like you see the handyman, Mr. Handyman. They just told his name, Mr. Handyman. You know, everybody had Mr. Handyman.
Yeah, and so we don't understand the power of economics. And the only way we can grasp the understanding, we have to teach it to our children. At this point, talking the power of economics to grown black folks, y'all gonna start arguing about football.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all gonna start having debates about the president. And y'all will never talk about building. And then turn that talk into action. So you have to go teach children, get a bunch of children and have a think tank and take what you get from that think tank and go create something for them children and show them children how their ideas can make money, especially today's time. So,
yes. Okay, last question. I'm an accountability accountant. When you hear the word accountability, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Self-reflection.
Yes. And I really think that's what we're suffering from.
Yes, self-reflection. Accountability. I want to say this without making accountability sound horrible. Accountability kicks your ass when can't nobody whoop your ass. Accountability governs you when you have a moral compass. Most people don't have a moral compass, either run from accountability or they have no concept of what accountability even is. And so they do a lot of things with no conscience. Accountability is what lets you know I'm not a bad person. And I'm starting to believe that black people might be bad people. Because accountability is when I'm with my homeboys and we playing gangster and tough and we bullying a couple dudes and we jump on them and beat them up. Quietly on the inside, I feel horrible. I feel bad. I can't say nothing because I don't want to get rejected. I don't want to get beat up by everybody. But when I go home, man, I quietly say, God, forgive me. Or I feel bad enough to where, man, I don't do that no more. You may not apologize to the person, but that accountability, man, is saying something is just simple, man, I'm wrong. Or he right and you wrong, homie. That's all that is.
That's it.
That's all that is. And we gotta have people around us to say, man, you wrong. We gotta have somebody in the community that's saying, man, we wrong, y'all wrong, that's wrong, this wrong. Say, look out, little homie, you wrong, don't do that. Say, boy, you wrong in the motherfucker for doing that. That's what's happening. We ain't got nobody saying you wrong. We saying wrong is right. We celebrating everything wrong as if it's right. Pimp, the pusher, the hustler, the gangster, the killer, the womanizer, the whoremonger. And so I think that's the greatest deceptive tool that our children are looking at. We're praising wrong as if it's right. Wow. And that's where accountability comes in.
This was it. That was fire. That was fire. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
you took me on down through there, boy. This probably one of the this is therapeutic. This was a therapeutic interview. It ain't too many. You took a nigga to counseling.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I feel like I'm doing, because for me to change our mindset, for me to help us make money and save and build wealth, I have to play with our mind.
Listen, you made me think. I just couldn't spew out answers. You made me, you made me think. This was good. This was good.
Yes, I enjoy and I appreciate you. You keep going hard. The true people know what you're doing. We see you. You got my support going on. So I enjoy, Charleston. You keep being amazing. Get to work and keep doing you. Keep working. I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, peace.